はい、HataQです。キングダムズ・オブ・アマラー、続きをやっていきましょう。というわけで、酔わせるものやっていきましょうか。とりあえずは近場だね。こっち側だね。というわけで、クエストの失敗もまあ十分あり得ると。成功してもまあ報酬だけだと思うんだけど、なんか変わるのかな。ただこれだけ数があってね、これだけの会話があってね、じゃあいちいちなんかそれ全部記憶してんのかとかメモるのかって言われるとね、それもそれでじゃん。だからまあまあどうしても完全コンプリートしたい人はなんか聞いてメモってっていう方がいいとは思います。
Apprentice to the font master and steward of tinctures and elixirs. Bristletongue, my moy, that would be something. A mockingbird with the font's only yield. Of course I will tell you where it is. What would be the fun in refusing? But before I do that, you need to offer me something. Isn't that how you mortals act? One deed for another?As steward of tinctures and elixirs, I often dabble in alchemy, especially with the water from the font. And I need you to drink this potion. Good. I will know what this does to the mortal constitution. Go on, big gulps now. None of that sipping. If you ever wish to learn, come visit.
やばい。ポーション試したの恨めってる？そんなことない？大丈夫？割れるように頭痛がするっていうの？庭に生えてる気がする。頭痛と記憶がぼやけてしまった。ちょっとわからないな。わからないんだけど、まあ外に出ろって指示されてるので行きましょう。で、基本的にね、俺ゲームあれなんだよな。なんかまあ 100% 全部クエストは受けたい気はするんだ。ただね、別に 100% ね、成功しなくてもいいかなと思ってんだよね。そこを楽しんで失敗したか成功したかはまあ別の話で。っていいような気はしてるんだよね。まあ完全コンプリートしたい人とかもいるからね、そういう人はそういう人で。まあ逆に俺の失敗が見てもらえればこうすると失敗するぞと分かってもらえればいいような気もするし。多分結構古いゲームだと思うからあれだと思うんだけど、どっかに必勝法っていうかなんか書いてあるような気がするけど、ネットに載ってるような気がするんだけど、解説みたいのね。これってこの下ってことだな。単純に戻れってことか。どこまで行けばいいの？結局あそこまで。
You've got the seeds. Now we'll see if the Victor's Brew can stand up to a new challenger.I'll have a batch of Asker's draft ready before the week is out. Take this, friend. And like I promised, the merchants here will give you a discount. You've got a home here in the alley for as long as you like. Oh, yes, sorry. The United Merchants Delegation. It's a coalition of traders that have been granted permission to sell their wares in Issa. Thanks for the business.
OK。じゃあここもクリアだね。さて、ですね。間違えた。あと一人、発注者がいたよね。その発注者が、後ろにいるな。何も出てこない。残念。
Hope you'll hear about the job. Demand is higher than ever. I'm just too busy to deal with anything else. Making a fortune is what? These visitors come with obscene amounts of gold or treasure. They don't mind parting with it. My plan was brilliant. I created a blade, Fey blade, of course, that makes them authentic, something all of them had to have. That's all they care about anyway, Fey souvenirs. I called it the Honor brand. Truth be told, it's dull as a stick, but it's easy to make. Listen, if you can find the parts and make them, I'll pay good money. Fabulous, fabulous! You know a good deal when you see it. There aren't enough people like you in Issa. The Fae don't even use money. Can you imagine? Once you start forging the honor brands, bring them to me and I'll provide you with just compensation. There should be plenty of parts around the city. For creatures with no interest in possessions, they sure know how to collect a fair amount of junk. It's safe, that's for sure. At least for the time being. I don't quite understand the Fae, but they definitely know how to keep a city quiet. I can sum up the war in one word. Folly. It is folly. You will see. Everyone will see. The Court of Summer has no true influence. If it did, perhaps this ridiculous war would reach its end. You think I like being confined to this cage? Think again. And after all we've done for them in this war, ungrateful creatures. Sure, you want to know about me? It's understandable. You want to know who you're going into business with. A wise move. Very wise. My mother was a merchant in Rathir, and I learned the trade at her side. I took the apprenticeship with Gwenna Hand mostly to get me into Issa. Now I'm on my own. Not just anyone can enter the secret city of the Fae. Oh no. You need an ambassador's endorsement and written authorization, and that's just to be in the lottery. Those in the United Merchants are the lucky ones. Of course, once you see how much gold they actually make in Issa, you will no longer envy them. She's the general merchant in the United Merchants delegation down the road. We've been friends for years now, I believe. A good, honest one, that Gwenna. Don't keep me waiting too long.
さあ、じゃあ新しいクエストを得たけど、あれでもなんか、もうすでに持ってるっぽいな。
Forge me an honor brand and I'll do my best to make it worth your time. Bring me something nice.
ん？どういうことだ？終了してるわけではないのかな。イオナブランド。なんか制作しろっていうのか。偽物を作れば作るほど、なんか作れっていうのね。なるほど。で、作れば作るほどっていうことは、これ間違いなくあれだよね。無限クエスト系だよね。じゃあちょっと室内覗いといて、室内にいるかいないか見てから2階に行って、2階のところにいるかどうかは、また発注者いるよ。ここもここで受けましょう。結構いるね、ここね。
Trust me, the rest of us have heard plenty about it. Erwin can't keep his big mouth shut. I am Methani Keen, Dokalfar ambassador to the Summer Court Fae. I'm sorry. This is a difficult position sometimes. Something is about to happen, and it must be stopped. But that is all I can say. This is neither the time nor the place. If you're interested in hearing my story, meet me in the worship circle after dark, near the gates. I will wait for you there. This is not the place. I will meet you in the time and place I specified. Issa is fine, and the Fae are tolerable, but many believe they should do more to support the war effort. It's unjust to live in peace while the rest of the world burns. They are a council of Fae nobles that advise the High King in matters of politics. Not that they even understand what that means. To them, politics is just a game. Well, more of a game than usual. You understand my meaning. This is where the Fae hide us to keep us out of sight. I used to take offense, but I got over it. I wouldn't want to live near them. Strange things, the Fae. I've met with him several times. I'll admit, he radiates a certain presence, but I'm less interested in charisma than I am in leadership. Not everyone is welcome up there. It's where the court of summoned nobles spend their time reminding themselves of past glories. I'd avoid it. Goodbye.
さてと、じゃあこのクエストやっていきますか。まあ、とりあえず出ろって感じかな。じゃあ他の室内にもまだありそうだな。まだ入ってない。隣も入ってねえな。おお、なんかここいろいろあるじゃない。あら。わあ、なんかいろいろと能力ゲットできた。
Good, you've come. I'm sorry to make you wait like this, but what I mean to discuss is very sensitive. It involves treachery. Despite the calm you see around you, the gardens of Isa are on the brink of war, and the question is, who will be fighting? There are plans being made to seize this city. Your people are displeased with the Court of Summer's lack of support for the war, and they wish to overthrow Tatarian and force the remaining Fae to fight. You can prevent this, but you must act now. If gold is an issue, we Dokkulfar can pay well. Of course, it is the right thing to do. The leader of the plot is the Varani ambassador, Kirna Brenner. Every night, the ambassador strolls Memory Walk, alone. She carries a pair of daggers. Take them. Afterwards, dispose of them. Destroy them. Salvage them. I don't care. Return to me when it is done. She spends most of her time in the embassy, but in the evenings, she enjoys a leisurely stroll through Memory Walk. Try there after dark. The Varani leaders here communicate secretly using weapons. They engrave codes into the blades of daggers and swords, which gets them through a typical search. We believe this particular pair of daggers describes the defenses of Isa, where it's strong and where it's weak. Brenna is plotting, and she will act. She is no politician. She is a warlord, and a cruel one. I've heard stories that would make your heart brittle. She was sent here for one reason alone, to bring down Isa. Goodbye.
でまた元の位置に戻りゃいいのかな。
What do you want? Do you have business with the Varani in the Gardens of Isa? If so, then you must speak with me, Kirna Brenner. You must mean Keen and her cohorts in the embassy. Lapdogs, all of them. They don't appreciate the situation. They don't understand sacrifice. This plot interests you. Listen, Ambassador Keen tries to stop me, but she can only do so while she lives and breathes. You can help me put an end to that. Such is this game of diplomacy. All options are in play until an obvious choice presents itself. Force can be quite useful if you know how to clean up after yourself. Kill that scheming whore. When it's done, deliver these daggers for me. A courier awaits you in Aiton Village, to the east. This is what must be done. The Varani will not be threatened. She is either working in the embassy or praying down by the city gates on the lower terraces. Try to find her alone. The guards can be somewhat troublesome, even in Isa. They don't deserve the breath I waste on them. There are powerful warriors in their ranks, but as a group they share no collective spine. They have no reason to fight. This is not a life I chose, here in this fetid swamp of a city. I was raised on the sea, an adventurer and warrior. I survived, and that made me what you see before you. I do not enjoy this position, talking instead of fighting, speaking of the enemy instead of facing them, but I have a job to do, and I will do it.
さてと、話は聞けたので戻れと。場所はこのままか。いたいた。
Politics is a dirty business, but it is necessary. One death now can prevent thousands of deaths in the future. Goodbye.
どういうことでしょう。まだあるんですか？これ終わりじゃないの？金大使を殺す。大使を殺すってなってんだけど、この大使ってどうやって殺すんだろう。
We must not be seen in fellowship. Our agreement must remain in the shadows, where it belongs.
他に何かしなきゃいけないことあんのかな？
Goodbye.
ちょっとわからないね。いやー、参ったな。どうしよう。とりあえず、こことかこことか入ってない場所あるんだよね。この洞窟も入ってないしね。まずは入ってない家、残りを見ていないかどうか。あと2階の発注者がいたので、あそこも処理したい。はい、じゃあここ。ここも関係なさそうかな。なんかあそこちょっと出っ張ってんの、あの先があるのかどうかなんだけど。調整。いやー、わかんねえな。これも盗むになっちゃうな。ってことはここも取るわけにいかない。まあとりあえず関係なさそうだね。おお、発注者いたね。2人ちょっと受けちゃおうか。
Greetings. Welcome to the Issa chapter house of the Scholia Arcana. How may I be of assistance? We are an order of magic practitioners dedicated to the fostering of knowledge regarding all things mystical and arcane. While the heart of our power lies in Rathir, we keep an embassy here in Issa to maintain strong relations with the Fae. Traditionally, our applicants undergo years of preparation, but we understand your circumstances are somewhat irregular. Ever since you entered the city, we've been watching you. After all, an endorsement from Niralim is not quickly dismissed. If it is your wish to join our order, you must first complete the trial of initiation. Then first I shall present you with this. It is the story of the order's founding and a good primer for all who wish to join our ranks. Now I shall summon the circle of mages necessary to perform the ritual. Savant Engar will lead the trial. Speak to him in the Delving Hall when you're ready to begin. It is not for me to divulge the details of the trial. I can only advise that you do not take the risk lightly. We are a society of mages dedicated to the study of magic. Short of joining, the best way to learn about the order is to read On the Founding of the Scholia Arcana. The Issa chapter is but a small branch of our larger Rathir chapter in the plains of Erethel. We focus more on researching the magics of the Fae and Dalentarth than pure instruction. Despite Jorum's frustrations, the wild magic of the Fae can be channeled in the most extraordinary ways. It is a great honor for us to be granted a place among them. As a docent of the Scholia Arcana, my duties involve handling all tasks necessary for the day-to-day administration of the Order's affairs in Issa. Farewell.
これはどういうことなのかな。何かしなきゃいけないのかな。今どういう意味だろう。訓練受けろってやつじゃないのかな。 まあいいや、もう一人いるんで、ちょっとそちらも話聞いておきましょう。クエストはちなみに今のは受けたのかな？受けた感じじゃないかな。どうでしょうか。これがそうかな。ちょっとわかんないな。まあまあいいや。受けるだけ受けちゃおう、全部。
Damn balls. Ah, I'm sorry, friend. I didn't see you there. I'm afraid I'm a bit concerned. A few nights ago, I was the victim of an attempted robbery. Someone sought to steal a gem of mine from a chest I warded myself. That night, 3 initiates fled the chapter. Cassera, Aloran, and Bertrand. I suspect they were somehow involved. They could only have run into the Shi. Can you find them? Thank you. Find out what happened and I'll be grateful. They must be in the Shi. Find them there. The finest practitioners of the arcane crafts on the continent can be found within the Order. There are many things we have learned from our time with the Fae, though their magic is quite unlike ours. I'm an experienced sagecrafter. My skills as a mage leave much to be desired, but no one knows stones like I do. You've got to find them. They're somewhere in the Shi, I'm sure of it. There's 3 of them. Cassera, Bertrand, and Aloran. Don't be a stranger!
さあ、一応これ新しいクエストで上書きしといて、で、ここはもう終了かな。この中 OK ね。ここでも1人いたんだから、これも受けておきましょう。
You feel it, don't you? Anyone intimate with the ways of magic can detect the
すげえ開業だな。
You like me, your grace. You see the end. Is this how it happened at the House of Ballads? Did Hallam foresee this slow decay? I had a feeling he did. Of the Gardens of Issa? Of the Summer Court? Why, this crystal war may be the end of all Fae. I know because I am Nomeron, master of the font, the wellspring of all Summer Court magic. I've seen it flow at its highest, but I've never seen it so dry. Something must be done before all this city withers into nothingness. The font's flow is controlled from the Lyceum Grove down below. We must open the root system and allow more water through. However, the magic that regulates this flow can only be used by some. It's protected by a ward known as the Waterlock. It can only be opened by one who carries drops from each of the 5 sacred pools surrounding Issa. Collect these drops, and you can break the Waterlock. Collect water from each of the 5 sacred pools, and then go to the Lyceum Grove. This is where the roots can be opened to regulate the font's flow. It has been located here for many of your generations, what we call seasons. Only in recent times has it been shaped to resemble one of your mortal cities. The Summer Court resides on the highest terrace, far above the rest of us, as it should be. As it is in every season, this family of Summer Fae has communed at the feet of its greatest leader, the High King Tatarian. The Western Fae lands are our domain. Every season, one is chosen to attend the font's magical flow, to act as ambassador. I'm the only Fae to have held the position more than once. I feel the strength of the currents. They wash through me. They rise up and overflow. However, their power weakens. Their cool waters recede. It is the source of Summer Court magic and touches our realm of origin, the land of Ashara. Without its constant flow, our kind would dry up like leaves and vanish. Most mortals know nothing of what lies beyond the veil. The magical realm of Ashara. It is a mystery even to us, as we departed its shores many seasons ago. The sacred pools are the collection points for the font's yield. Together, they cradle the Gardens of Issa. Keep it safe, powerful and hidden. You will find 2 of the pools below in the gardens themselves. One near the Ballad's sanctuary, and one in the court of summer itself. While wise and powerful, he's also brash and narrow. A sliver of light in a world so dark that most of us are blind. His inaction is no match for mortal ambition. Goodbye.
で、これは一滴と。OK。さてと、どっからどうやっていこうかな。さて、区切りも良さそうなんでね、今回はここまでということで、よかったらまた次回も見に来てください。チャンネル登録、そして良ければいいねボタンの方もぜひよろしくお願いします。それじゃあ、また会おうぜ。